There may be trouble ahead for Ubisoft. As you may remember, some time ago there were rumblings that Vivendi might be looking to purchase the company. And now it seems they are at least trying to do just that, as Ubisoft is now looking for Canadian investors to help prevent a takeover by Vivendi, and this has been reported by the Globe and Mail. Now, they quoted Yves Guillemot, who of course is the CEO of Ubisoft, basically saying that Ubisoft are meeting this week with parties in Montreal and Toronto in order to raise funding. Now, Yves Guillemot said, quote, "We want to increase the number of Canadian shareholders in Ubisoft to have better control over the capital. We feel it's a good defence." Now, earlier on this week, Vivendi confirmed to Deadline that they have indeed launched a hostile takeover bid against developer and publisher Gameloft. And basically, the CEO of that particular company is Michael Guillemot, and as you might expect, he's Yves' brother and co-founder of Ubisoft. And analysts at European investment bank Bryan Garnier & Co. have basically said that the hostile bid on Gameloft is Vivendi's first step in a larger ploy to force talks with the Guillemot family and take over Ubisoft. Now, the Globe and Mail's article reads, quote, "At stake are more than 3,000 Ubisoft jobs in Montreal, Quebec, Toronto and Halifax, and hundreds of millions of capital invested since the company opened its first studio in Canada in 1997. Quebec has the most to lose, with Ubisoft representing a pillar of its multimedia industry." Now, in terms of shares, Yves and his brothers together own about 9% of Ubisoft equity and 16% of voting rights. Major shareholders such as BlackRock and Fidelity, who combined own about 15% of the company, do side with the two Guillemot brothers, so that's good. So Yves basically said that he believes he needs the support of about 50% or more of votes to block Vivendi from making board changes during the annual shareholders meeting, which is scheduled for September. I will include the Globe and Mail's article in the description below this video if you wish to give it a read. I suggest you do so, there's quite a bit of information there, but I have covered the key points, and that's basically, according to some analysts and comments, Vivendi are basically trying to do a takeover of Ubisoft via the company Gameloft, and well, that could have some pretty bad consequences for Ubisoft, and, you know, love them or hate them, this is not good if Vivendi succeed at this. There is no good part of this. Ubisoft may not be the company they once were, but they still make great games, and they still, despite some, you know, flawed releases in recent years, they do, you know, they hold some pretty damn good IP, and do we really want to see that in the hands of people who are willing to go to such measures? Probably not. I mean, nothing might change, or everything might change, we just don't know. Now, basically, if Vivendi can't coax the Guillemot brothers into a friendly deal, it runs the risk of not only losing them, but employees loyal to them in an industry that, of course, depends critically on its creative talent. And Michael Pachter himself, you know, he himself is a bit of a controversial figure, said, quote, "I think it's hard for Vivendi. You really run the risk that the best people will walk out the door. And to be honest, I don't think Yves and his brother will just walk away from this company that they've built up from zero, but I don't think they'll be too pleased with a hostile takeover, to be quite honest with you. But it'd be interesting to see what comes out of this. Fingers crossed that Ubisoft managed to get the numbers that they need to stop this from happening. You know, whether I like or dislike Ubisoft, this wouldn't be good for this to happen. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.